The final Make It Rain campaign before the release of Dawntrail is here, so in this video I will be covering the story of the campaign this time, which is actually full of imps. We start where all these campaigns start, in Ul'dah, where we meet Kevane from the Tavnarian Truth, a publication on all things alien, mystical and conspiratorial. Well, this time, the rumor is that various water imps have started appearing in the Gold Saucer, and Kevane plans to uncover the truth of why they're there for his upcoming article. We decide to go with him, and as we go to the Gold Saucer, it is immediately clear that these water imps are just people in costumes. Though, neatly, these are based on the real-world Kappa, a mythical yokai from Japanese folklore. In those stories, the Kappa is a child-sized being living in the rivers of Japan. In the stories, Kappas are green human-like beings with webbed feet and hands. They got a turtle-like shell on their back, and on their head they got this depression or a dish which holds water. And it's said that if the Kappa loses their liquid, either from the dish drying up or getting damaged in some way, the Kappa will be severely weakened. Also, they just really like cucumbers. But in our game, Kevane is saddened to see that these water imps are indeed just people in costumes. So he changes the article subject. Now he will write about the relation to the Gold Saucer festivities. Especially, as he's been asking around, there seems to be some mystery about how this decision came about. So we decide to help him to see if we can find out where this idea came about to begin with. We speak to an attendant about the whole imp business, and he excitedly tells us that this is called the March of the Imps, where the imps are to go around and bring joy around the Gold Saucer. Though he himself isn't quite sure how the original idea was decided on, but he knows who might, the original imp to bring the idea. And with his direction we hurry to find just the imp in question, which is a very intimidating imp. And I have a feeling that maybe I've seen these particular underpants before. But instead of telling us anything we need to know, the half-naked imp just shoves us into one of those imp costumes and sends us off to entertain the patrons of the Gold Saucer. Knowing if we actually want to know anything, we just have to go along with this. So we go about giving out adorable squeaks before returning to the imposing imp, who brings us to the entrance square where Kevane is waiting. And then he thanks us by vanishing and instead being replaced by Godbert Mandeville himself, who comes to speak with us, revealing the origin of this impish marsh. Like you might know, he employs the Voidsend Typhoon here in the Gold Saucer. Typhoon was originally summoned in by the Tomators Guild during some experiments, and for a while he was an employee of the Colosseum in Ul'dah, until one day he assisted Ultros in sabotaging a fight, and for this reason he was fired. But Godbert decided to hire him to join the Gold Saucer instead. But that doesn't tell us why the imps though. And like Typhoon, they have a lot of different summons. One of them just being named Imp. And apparently it just changes people into little impish beings when used. We've actually seen this spell in action during the Ultros fight in the Mandeville questline. Godbert did try to learn more about these imps, where they came from, and how the spell to make them fell into human hands. He poured through various resources, but failed to find anything, realizing that the creature's lineage would remain a mystery. So he decided instead to celebrate their existence by making them part of the Gold Saucer festivities. Kevane is fascinated by the story, how Godbert would use the imps not just to entertain but to educate, and he's struck with an idea. His new story will be titled Myth Made Manifest at the Gold Saucer. Tomaturge History reveals imp mystery. He knows the readers will be all over this article, and you never know. Maybe one of them has the answer Godbert is looking for. But as a reward for our help, we do get the imp costume as a reward. And that ends the quest line. Though there is also a campaign attendant vendor who sells unique items from this event and various old rewards on discount. So it's worth checking out. I do have a quick video covering what the rewards look like. But tell me, what do you think about the quest line? I found it rather cute, though shorter than I expected. Usually there are 2 quests, but this time there was just 1, and is a nice last Make It Rain event before the start of Dawn Trail. But what are your thoughts on it? Let's talk about it down in the comments, and while you're down there, maybe throw me a commendation by liking and subscribing. And of course, in the end, all I wanna say is takk fyrir að horfa, haugðu yndislegan dag.